Hello. What if I told you that your kitchen, right now, could contain one of the most powerful and safest sleep aids available, and that the pharmaceutical industry would prefer you never found out about it? Does that sound like an exaggeration? I understand your skepticism. We live in a world that has taught us to look for solutions in pill bottles, often ignoring the power that lies in nature, a power that modern science is only beginning to rigorously validate. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 6 fruits that insomnia literally fears. And not just what they are, but why they work on a biochemical level to reprogram your brain and body for the deep, restful sleep you crave. Now, I know what insomnia is. I don't just know it from books or studies. I know it from the hundreds of tired faces that have sat here in front of me over the decades. I know the feeling of dread that sets in when the sun goes down. The anxiety that grows with every hour that ticks by, marking 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. The sound of your own heart beating in your ears, a lonely drum in the stillness of the night. The mind that refuses to shut down, replaying conversations, to-do lists, irrational fears. And the deep exhaustion that awaits you in the morning, a fog that steals your joy, your patience, your ability to be present for the people you love. The fear of another day, operating at only a fraction of your energy. If this sounds familiar, know that you are not alone, and more importantly, know that there is a way out of this darkness. But there is one crucial detail about how and when to consume these fruits that can make all the difference between a restful night's sleep and just a midnight snack. And the 6th fruit on our list, well, it's linked to a hormone that most people associate with something else entirely, and understanding that connection could be the missing piece of your sleep puzzle. Stick with me, because what I'm about to share isn't just tips, it's a whole new understanding of how your body was designed to sleep. The first natural weapon in our arsenal against insomnia is a fruit you may associate more with desserts than sleep, the cherry. But not just any cherry. Specifically, sour or tart cherries, known in some places as Montmorency cherries. What makes this little red fruit so powerful? The answer lies in a single word: melatonin. You've probably heard of it. It's often called the sleep hormone, but that's a simplification that can lead to misunderstanding. Melatonin isn't a sedative that knocks you out. Think of it as the conductor of a great orchestra, the orchestra of your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is your body's internal 24-hour clock, which dictates when you should feel alert and when you should feel sleepy. When darkness falls, your pineal gland, a small structure in the center of your brain, begins to produce melatonin. Melatonin then travels through your body and sends a clear signal to all your cells. It's nighttime. It's time to slow down. It's time to prepare for rest and repair. It lowers your body temperature, reduces your blood pressure, and sets the stage for sleep. The problem for many people with insomnia is not that their bodies don't know how to produce melatonin, but that its production is out of sync, insufficient, or suppressed. The main culprit? Artificial light, especially blue light from cell phone screens, tablets, and televisions. This light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime and puts a strong brake on the production of your sleep conductor. This is where sour cherries come in. They are one of the few natural and significant dietary sources of melatonin. A study published in the European Journal of Nutrition showed that adults who drank sour cherry juice for 7 days had significantly higher levels of melatonin in their bodies. But the most impressive finding was the practical result. They slept an average of 34 minutes longer per night and had a 6% improvement in sleep efficiency, which is a measure of how much time you actually spend asleep while in bed. Another study from the Journal of Medicinal Food found that consuming tart cherry juice increased sleep time in elderly people with insomnia by an impressive 84 minutes. That's almost an hour and a half of extra sleep, achieved not with a synthetic pill, but with a fruit. To incorporate this, you can consume a small glass of tart cherry juice, always without added sugar, about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, or a small handful of dried cherries. The important thing is consistency. You are essentially supplementing your body's nighttime signal, giving your conductor the support it needs to lead the sleep orchestra to harmony. If this first revelation has already started to connect the dots for you, imagine what's yet to come. We're just beginning to put this puzzle together. If you feel that this type of approach, which seeks to understand the root of the problem, makes sense to you, do yourself and the channel a favor. Click the like button so that more people who are suffering can find this video. And if you haven't already, subscribe. I'm here to be your guide on this journey, and with each video, we'll deepen our knowledge and tools to help you get your nights back. The second fruit on our list is small, green, and fuzzy on the outside, but vibrant and full of power on the inside. The kiwi. For many years, kiwi has been praised for its high vitamin C content, but more recent research has revealed its impressive potential for fighting insomnia. The magic of kiwi comes from a combination of compounds, but the main player here is serotonin. If melatonin is the conductor of the night, serotonin is the messenger of well-being during the day. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter crucial for regulating mood, appetite, and yes, sleep. Low serotonin levels are strongly linked to depression, anxiety, and, of course, insomnia. What many people don't know is that about 90% of our serotonin is produced in the gut, not the brain. But most important to our discussion is that the brain uses serotonin as a raw material to produce melatonin. Think of it as a production line. You need serotonin to make the melatonin that will make you sleep. If your serotonin stores are low, your nighttime melatonin production will inevitably be impaired. Kiwi not only contains serotonin, but also compounds that appear to stimulate the body's ability to utilize it better. A widely cited study from Taipei Medical University had participants with sleep problems eat 2 kiwis an hour before bed every night for 4 weeks. The results were remarkable. Participants fell asleep 42% faster than before the study. The time it took them to fall asleep after turning off the lights decreased significantly. In addition, total sleep time increased by 13%, and sleep efficiency, the actual quality of sleep, improved by 5%. Why is kiwi so effective? In addition to serotonin, it is rich in antioxidants such as vitamin C and vitamin E. This is more important than it sounds. Chronic insomnia creates a state of oxidative stress in the brain. Imagine your brain as a factory that runs 24 hours a day. This work generates metabolic waste, known as free radicals. During deep sleep, a cleaning system called the glymphatic system kicks in to remove this waste. If you don't sleep well, this waste builds up, causing inflammation and cell damage, that oxidative stress. This, in turn, further interferes with the brain's ability to initiate and maintain sleep, creating a vicious cycle. The antioxidants in kiwi act like a cleaning crew, neutralizing these free radicals and protecting the brain. They help break the cycle of not sleeping. Oxidative stress, not sleeping. So by eating 2 kiwis before bed, you're not just providing the raw material for melatonin, you're also helping to clean up the brain environment, making it more conducive to rest. It's a two-pronged approach that attacks insomnia on 2 crucial fronts. The third fruit is perhaps the most common and humble of all, but its power to relax the body is extraordinary. I'm talking about the banana. Often seen as an energy source for athletes, bananas, when eaten at the right time, can be a powerful ally for sleep. Their secret lies not in an exotic compound, but in 2 essential minerals that most of the modern population is deficient in, magnesium and potassium. Let's talk about the nervous system. It has 2 main modes of operation, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic system is our accelerator pedal. It is the fight-or-flight response. It increases heart rate, tenses muscles, and sharpens the mind for danger. The parasympathetic system is our brake. It is the rest and digest response. It slows the heart rate, relaxes muscles, and calms the mind. Insomnia, at its core, is often a state in which the accelerator pedal is stuck. You're lying in bed, safe and comfortable, but your body and mind are still in high alert mode. Your neck muscles are tense, your jaw is clenched, your mind is racing. Your sympathetic system is in charge when it should be handing control over to the parasympathetic. This is where magnesium and potassium, abundant in bananas, play a vital role. Magnesium is often called the relaxation mineral. It works on multiple levels. First, it helps regulate the body's neurotransmitters, especially GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is the brain's primary inhibitory neurotransmitter. Think of GABA as your brain's brake pedal. It literally calms neural activity. Low magnesium levels mean less GABA, which leads to a mind that can't quiet down. Second, magnesium plays a direct role in muscle relaxation, helping to release the physical tension that many people with insomnia carry to bed. Potassium works in tandem with magnesium to maintain fluid balance and proper nerve function, helping to prevent nighttime cramps and restlessness that can fragment sleep. Together, they are a dynamic duo that helps the body transition from fight or flight to rest and digest. I remember one patient, let's call him Alex. He was a high-powered executive, and he described his experience to me this way. "Doctor, I felt like my body was always on alert, even when I was lying down. My muscles were tense, my mind was racing. I could feel the electricity running under my skin." When we started focusing on ensuring he had adequate levels of these relaxing minerals through his diet, including the habit of eating half a banana about an hour before bed, the change was palpable. He told me, "It was as if someone had finally turned off a constant buzzing switch inside me. For the first time in years, my body felt truly at rest in bed, and sleep came as a natural consequence." A small banana, or even half of one, is enough. You don't need the sugar from a large banana, but rather the minerals it contains. It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound solutions come from the simplest sources. Now, I'd like to pause and ask you something. As you heard about these mechanisms, the conductor of melatonin, the raw material of serotonin, the brake on the nervous system, did any specific questions come to mind about your own experience with insomnia? Maybe you're wondering why you always wake up at 3 a.m., or why you feel tired, but your mind is on. Leave your question in the comments below. I read every single one, and your question may not only help me create future videos to answer these questions, but it may also create a supportive community here where people realize they are not alone in their specific struggles. Share your question. It matters. Moving on to our fourth fruit, let's address a hidden cause of insomnia that frustrates millions of people: waking up in the middle of the night. You fall asleep fine, but suddenly, at 2 or 3 a.m., your eyes fly open and you're wide awake. Why? One of the most common and often overlooked causes is nighttime hypoglycemia, or a drop in blood sugar. During the day, you eat regularly to keep your energy and blood sugar levels stable. But during the night, you go through a long period of fasting. If your dinner was high in simple carbohydrates or sugars, you may experience an initial spike in blood sugar, followed by a sharp drop a few hours later. When your blood sugar drops too low, your body panics. It interprets this as an emergency and releases stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline to raise your blood sugar. These are the same hormones involved in the fight or flight response. They increase your heart rate, your blood pressure, and of course wake you up abruptly. And once cortisol is circulating, it's incredibly difficult to get back to sleep. The fruit that helps us combat this is the fig. Figs, whether fresh or dried, are an excellent choice for a bedtime snack for one key reason: their balance of fiber and natural sugars. Unlike candy or white bread, which cause a spike and crash in blood sugar, figs release their energy slowly and steadily. The high amount of soluble fiber in figs slows down digestion and the absorption of sugars into the bloodstream. Think of it as the difference between lighting a piece of paper and lighting a log. The paper, simple carbohydrate, burns intensely and goes out quickly. The log, fiber and complex sugar, burns slowly, steadily, and long, providing heat all night long. By eating 1 or 2 dried figs about an hour before bed, you are essentially putting a slow-release log in your metabolic furnace. This helps keep your blood sugar levels stable during the first and most critical hours of the night, preventing that cortisol surge that pulls you out of deep sleep. In addition, figs are also a good source of the minerals we've already discussed: potassium, magnesium, and calcium, which helps the brain use tryptophan, an amino acid, to make melatonin. So figs not only prevent a problem, the sugar crash, but also actively contribute to the solution, melatonin production and relaxation. It's a preventive strategy. You're not just preparing to fall asleep, but also to stay asleep. For many people who struggle with waking up in the middle of the night, this simple addition to their routine can be transformative. It's shifting the focus from just what makes me sleep to what keeps me asleep. Our fifth fruit takes us into even deeper territory of brain neurochemistry. Let's talk about anxiety, mental rumination, that feeling like your mind is stuck in an endless loop. If that describes your nights, you need to know about the power of passion fruit. Passion fruit, especially certain varieties, contains alkaloid compounds such as harmine, which have a fascinating effect on the brain. These compounds act on a system I mentioned briefly earlier, the GABA system. GABA, or gamma-aminobutyric acid, is the main calming or inhibitory neurotransmitter in your central nervous system. If excitatory neurotransmitters, such as glutamate, are the brain's accelerator pedal, GABA is the brake pedal. It reduces the excitability of neurons, slowing down the conversation between them. When you are anxious or your mind is racing, it is as if there is an electrical storm of neural activity in your brain, without enough brakes to calm it down. Most sleep and anxiety medications, such as benzodiazepines, work by increasing the effectiveness of GABA in the brain. They bind to GABA receptors and make them more sensitive, amplifying the braking effect. The problem is that these drugs can be very strong, create dependence, and alter the natural architecture of sleep, suppressing REM sleep and slow-wave sleep, which are crucial for mental and physical recovery. Passion fruit offers a gentler, more natural approach. The alkaloids present in the fruit appear to interact with the GABA system in a more subtle way. They do not force the system, but support it, promoting a state of calm and relaxation without the drastic side effects of synthetic drugs. It's like comparing shouting at everyone to be quiet, medication, with playing soft background music that naturally calms the room, passion fruit. One patient, whom we will call Sophia, once described her nighttime anxiety as a radio playing static at full volume inside my head. She told me, "I tried everything, but my mind just wouldn't shut down." It was exhausting. Introducing calming elements into her nighttime routine, such as a small portion of passion fruit pulp or a tea made from the leaves of the plant, passiflora, was a turning point for her. She described the change as follows. It was like slowly tuning that radio to a calm, quiet frequency. The noise just disappeared. It wasn't a knockout, it was a gradual, peaceful silencing. You can consume the pulp of half a passion fruit with the seeds, or drink passion flower tea, made from the leaves of the passion fruit plant, an hour before bed. You are providing your brain with the tools it needs to apply its own brakes, to shift out of high alert and into a state of serenity, making sleep not only possible, but inviting. Of course, and this applies to all recommendations, it is essential to use common sense. If you are pregnant, breastfeeding, have pre-existing medical conditions, especially kidney problems or diabetes, or are already taking medications, particularly sedatives or blood pressure medication, it is crucial to talk to your doctor before making any significant changes to your diet or routine. These fruits are safe foods for most people, but responsibility for your individual health always comes first. Now we come to our sixth and final fruit. The one I promised at the beginning that was linked to a hormone that most people don't associate with sleep. This fruit is pineapple. When we think of pineapple, we think of sunshine, the tropics, a refreshing daytime drink. We rarely associate it with preparing for sleep. But scientific studies have revealed something surprising. Consuming pineapple can dramatically increase the body's production of melatonin. One study in particular looked at the effects of eating various fruits on melatonin levels and found that after eating pineapple, melatonin markers in the participants' bodies increased by an impressive 266%. This was significantly more than with bananas, an increase of 180%, or oranges, an increase of 47%. Why does this happen? Pineapple contains tryptophan, the amino acid precursor to serotonin and, in turn, melatonin. But it also contains enzymes such as bromelain and other compounds that appear to optimize the conversion of this tryptophan into melatonin very efficiently. The surprise here is that a food we associate with daytime energy can be a powerful trigger for the nighttime hormone. This teaches us an important lesson. Sleep biology is complex and full of surprises. It's not just about avoiding the wrong things like blue light, but actively adding the right things. By eating a few slices of fresh pineapple in the evening, you are giving your brain a powerful and direct boost to produce your sleep conductor. This can be especially helpful for people whose biological clock is particularly out of sync, such as shift workers, frequent travelers who suffer from jet lag, or simply those who feel that their sleep-wake cycle is completely reversed. The bromelain in pineapple also has anti-inflammatory properties and aids digestion, which can indirectly contribute to better sleep by ensuring that digestive discomfort is not a disruptive factor. This sixth fruit completes our arsenal, showing that solutions can come from unexpected places and challenging our assumptions. When we look at these 6 fruits together, cherries for direct melatonin, kiwis for serotonin and antioxidants, bananas for muscle relaxation, figs for blood sugar stability, passion fruit to calm the mind, and pineapple for a massive boost in melatonin production, we see a complete picture. Insomnia is not a single monster. It is a many-headed beast. One head is hormonal, another is neurological, another is muscular, another is metabolic. To beat insomnia, you don't need a single silver bullet, but a multifaceted strategy that addresses each of these heads. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Doctor, that's fantastic. Cherries for melatonin, kiwis for serotonin, bananas for magnesium, figs for blood sugar, passion fruit to calm the mind, pineapple for an extra boost. But how do I put it all together? Do I need to make a giant fruit salad every night? What if I can't find fresh cherries or quality passion fruit year-round? What about dosages? How do I know I'm getting the right amount of each compound to really make a difference and not just eating extra calories before bed? That's the reality. Knowledge is power, but consistent and correct application is what brings about healing. Trying to manage 6 different sources at the right time in the right amount can become yet another stressful task, ironically disrupting your sleep. The truth is that a truly effective and definitive solution for chronic insomnia should not be about a single ingredient. It needs synergy. It needs to combine the right calming compounds in the purest and most bioavailable forms in clinically relevant doses that science supports. An ideal solution needs to calm the mind, like compounds that act on the GABA system, regulate the biological clock by providing the building blocks for melatonin, relax the physical body with minerals like magnesium, and stabilize your physiology to prevent nighttime awakenings. All this in one simple, safe, and reliable step. That's why, after years of clinical practice and seeing what really works in the long term, I feel compelled to point you toward a more direct and integrated path. For my patients and for you who are looking for a complete and proven solution, I have researched and identified a protocol that encapsulates exactly this multifaceted philosophy. It brings together the active ingredients we discussed today, extracted in their most potent form and combined synergistically. To save you the guesswork, the expense of buying multiple items, and the risk of getting the doses wrong, I've left a link in the description and in the first pinned comment. Consider it a shortcut. My personal recommendation for a resource that I trust meets these rigorous criteria for quality, synergy, and effectiveness. It's the logical next step for anyone who's ready to stop struggling and start healing. Remember, the ultimate goal isn't to depend on something external forever, but rather to use these tools to break the vicious cycle of insomnia. It's about using smart support to regulate your system so your body can relearn its natural sleep rhythm. When you sleep well, night after night, the magic happens. The brain fog clears, energy returns, patience and joy reappear. Your ability to handle stress improves dramatically. You become more resilient, more focused, more present. Sleep recovery isn't just about feeling rested. It's about getting your life back. It's about having the energy to pursue your goals, to enjoy your hobbies, to be truly connected with the people around you. Every night of deep sleep is an investment in your physical health, your mental clarity, and your emotional well-being the next day. It's the foundation upon which a vibrant life is built. The fruits we discussed today are wonderful tools, important pieces of the puzzle. They represent a fundamental principle. Nature offers us powerful solutions. But for a problem as entrenched as chronic insomnia, a more focused, comprehensive, and synergistic approach is often the catalyst needed for real, lasting transformation. Don't give up. The solution exists. The path to peaceful nights is right in front of you. If this video has brought you a little clarity, a moment of aha, or a spark of hope, imagine the impact it could have on someone else who is right now, perhaps in the early hours of the morning, staring at the ceiling and feeling desperate. Make an act of generosity and share this knowledge. Send this video to a friend, a family member, someone you know who is suffering in silence. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together toward peaceful nights and days full of energy. Each video is one more step in that direction. Remember, your journey to restful sleep begins with a small step. And maybe, just maybe, that step is in your fruit bowl tonight, or in the click of a link that can simplify the whole process for you. The important thing is to take the step. Take care and sleep well.